A lot of you came here because of the Metallica reviews, and a bunch of you are brand new here because of the Taylor Swift videos. I'm hoping that this record kind of merges the two of you together because we have a really kick-ass rock band fronted by a really awesome woman who writes really cool songs. So we're going to find out what happens when we listen to Paramore's second record, Riot, as suggested by the internet. So, for those of you who are coming back, thanks for returning, and for those of you who are new, welcome to the Rocker Review. For a pessimist, I'm pretty optimistic. Track number 1 from Paramore's not the debut record, but saying that for a while, from their second record, Riot. The internet told me to do this record because they seem to like it a lot. So that's the record I'm going to be reviewing. We're going to listen to the whole entire thing, and I'm going to rank each of the songs as they fall for my preferences as a rocker. Again, this isn't because I'm better than anybody else. It's just because I like to be a nerd and use math to decide what my favorites are. So, using math, we're going to use the following criteria: structure, flow, melody, engagement, and lyrics. Each category is a 0 to 4 scale, with 4 being super great and 0 being not for me. And I would like you to play along and find out, out of 20 points, what score would you give this song? So let me know in the comments below. Play along. It's fun to find this stuff out. And of course, hit that subscribe button. Well, I always love having more people on this channel, so welcome to the new fans, and welcome back to the old fans. Make sure you check out my music as well. Midnight Notion is the name of the band, and the music is available all over the internet, Spotify, iTunes. You know how to find it. I believe in you. Let's get into the song. I have no idea what we're getting into. The only things I know about Paramore is that it's fronted by Hayley Williams, who is awesome. I have listened to their later stuff, like their more recent stuff, and it's pretty awesome. I think they broke up, but they might be coming back together? Question mark? Haven't researched it, but I know that we're at least in the pop punk area, and that this record was released in 2007. So that's pretty much it. I've also heard The Only Exception and Ain't It Fun, and maybe another one. I don't recall, but so I have no idea what we're getting into, but I'm really excited to get into a little more rock. Let's do this thing. I like how much energy we're starting with. We have the drums already in a pattern that's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. Okay, they're not subdividing it that many times. They're not changing time signature. It's all in 4. It all adds up to 4. Really cool pattern there. What I love is the difference between the low guitar and the high guitar. You hear the high guitar, but then there's a low guitar doing the going really, really low. I love this. I love this.
Just talk yourself up and tear yourself down.
That was cool. Cool. Okay, once again, I focus a lot on the drums, but we had the kick drum on the offbeats, right? On the and then the second time through, we have like sort of a call and response thing. We have like a breakdown, just holding out the guitar, doing the pumping drum beats on the hey, 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 and the singing on the vocals on that. And then we have a little bit of playing at full tempo without the vocals. And then we come down to that break again where it's just holding out the guitar, she's singing again, and we have now the drums going, not just kick drum, but also that open hi-hat. Yeah! I love that. I got to hear that again. Go back a couple of seconds here. 10 seconds maybe. We had a little break where it was just everything cut out. It was just ba ba. Everything's emphasizing that point, and then it's just the high guitar and maybe some drums, but it kind of has a halftime vibe going there. Ba ba. What that does is we have like a really heavy, full emphasized part, and then we go down to real small. It's a really cool break. I'm loving it already. This is a great way to start a record.
Well, what's the problem? You got a lot of nerve. So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away. No, you can't run away. So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away. No, you can't run away. You wouldn't. I never wanted to say this. You never wanted to say. I put my faith in you, so much faith in me. You just threw it away.
Here's the intro again.
Threw it away.
Right now, the star of the show is the drummer for me. It's always going to be the drummer. Maybe not. Maybe we'll listen to some music in the future where it's not the drummer. But so far, kicking some butt. Really great drums. Guitars are also really cool. I loved that section. I don't know what we're going to call it. If it's going to be called a pre-chorus, where it all came down. It was kind of clean guitars. We had some really like a kind of a chorus reverb sort of situation going on that had a really cool effect to the clean guitars. And then we had the drums on a side stick. They're hitting the side of the drumstick, like right on the rim. If you haven't watched this channel before, the side stick, you're actually using the stick to hit the metal part around the snare drum. And so we were doing that, and then they kept the clean guitars, but the drums built into something bigger to go with the snare drum the second time through. There's a lot of cool change-ups in here, and I'm digging it already.
I'm not so naive. My sorry eyes can see
We're gonna add something else.
the way you
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
Almost everything.
Okay, what I was talking about earlier is that build in the drums. You can build drums. So first verse, the first time is just kick drum. Second time it's kick and open hi-hat. Second verse, first time kick and open hi-hat. And then the second verse, we have the toms. Boo 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 ka boo 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 ka. We're building it. We're doing like a narrative build. It's a roller coaster. It started way down here. Well, it didn't start. It kind of started up here. It started up here, nice and rocky. Kind of came down a little bit, and then rocked, and then came down, and then it rocked, and then it came really down, and then it rocked really hard, and then it came here, and then it's going up. And it's just going all over the place like a roller coaster. And that's how you write a good song. Good job.
Well, if you give up, you'll get what you deserve. So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away. No, you can't run away. So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away. No, you can't run away.
I want to go back to this clean part. I want to hear what's going on because I've been paying so much attention to the drums. I haven't been listening to the guitars.
So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away. No, you can't run away. So what did you think I would say? No, you can't.
Really cool. We got some held out long. Boo-doo. Let me see if I can find that.
So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away.
So we have a note up here. Could be this. Could be this. But either way, it sounds like it's up here. But they're not striking the guitar all the way up here. They're actually using a harmonic. What is a harmonic? Well, a harmonic on the guitar is where you're not, usually you press down the string with your finger so that it's touching the fretboard and you get a note. Okay, this is a half step higher than what they're playing. It sounds like their guitars might be tuned down a half step. But if they were in standard tuning, right here on the 7th fret, if I press down the 7th fret and I strum the string, I get that note. But if I put my finger just above the string, you can't really see it here, just barely, just a little above the string, I can get this weird harmonic, like, I'm not touching the string. I'm not holding it. I'm just kind of telling the instrument to play it just a little bit higher. If I play this, and then I do a harmonic version, it's like a whole, like 2 octaves higher or something like that. Now, I can't do it on every single fret. I could do it on the 5th fret, I could do it on the 7th fret, and I could do it on the 12th fret. But if I try to do it here on this on the 6th fret, it doesn't work the same. I would have to tune down my instrument by 1/2 step. I'd have to, and now on the 7th fret, that's the note they're hitting, or something close to it. That's what I'd have to do. So this whole guitar needs to be tuned down a 1/2 step to play this song. But so cool to hear those harmonics here, that ethereal sort of background that doo, you could just hear it ringing out in the background. We'll rewind it and listen to it one more time so your ears can find that note.
So what did you think I would say? No, you can't
Here.
run away. No, you
Next
can't
one here.
run away. So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away. No, you can't run away. You wouldn't. I never wanted to say this. You never wanted to stay. I put my faith in you, so much faith, and then you just threw it away. You threw it away. You were finished long before we had even seen the start. Why don't you stand up, be a man about it?
Okay. After a full record of Taylor Swift's slow bridges, this one has some grit and some energy to it. We're finally lifting up those bridges and putting them way up. Yeah, picking up by your bridges? Okay, let's dissect this. Let's go back just a little bit. I know I'm going back a lot, but I'm really enjoying what I'm hearing. One thing I wanted to point out is the drummer, once again, is making me happy with this one specific fill. Baka-gu-gu-du-gu-ta. He's doing a snare and then a kick, and then some toms, and then the kick, and then some toms, and then the kick, and then the snare one last time. Baka-du-gu-du-gu-ka. Baka-du-du-gu-du-ka. That little fill is a really nice transitional fill because it's bringing us into the next section every single time. Baka-du-du-du-du-ka. And I don't think he's ending it with a kick drum. Because think of it rhythmically, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then there's nothing after that. The last hit, whether it's a 4 or an and, or however you choose to count it, 1 and a 2 and a 3, however you count it, that last hit is a longer, like there's nothing after it. It's got like some space, and that emptiness pulls us into the next section. And go. It's like an and. When you have an and, then the sentence is unfinished, and we want to land on the next part of the sentence. And so that's what we're doing musically. We have an unfinished section, and we want to land on the next section. And so that fill is bringing us to it's the and in our larger sentence, and I really, really like that. What's the second thing I wanted to point out? We have some heavier. A lot of this has been bukuka, bukuka, tukuka, tutuka. So the snare is driving us on the 2 and the 4 of every measure. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. It feels like halftime. It could be like 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It could be on the 1, depending on how you count it. You could call it halftime. You could call it a tempo change. It's not really a tempo change, but the feel is different. We're no longer as fast as we were. We're half the speed we were before, and we're emphasizing the downbeat instead of those offbeats like we were before. So those downbeats, and then the guitar is doing this palm mute, this low chug, and I think one of them's holding out the notes. Let's listen again.
You were finished long before we had even seen the
Picks up.
start. Why don't you stand up, be a man?
And then there's one guitar, it sounds like the left speaker to me, that's doing a lot of movement. It's like moving a lot. It almost sounds like a keyboard. It could be a keyboard. Sometimes when you're producing a rock record, you add little things in the background and little tiny little extra pieces in there to make it more interesting. So it could be a keyboard, but it sounds like a guitar to me. I'm hearing it mostly in the left speaker. You tell me if you can hear it. A lot of movement here. I'll rewind 5 more seconds. Right here. Hold it out. Yeah. So it's snare kick, kick, toms kick, kick, snare. Love it. Again, that snare is and rest of the sentence. There we go. Yeah, I love rhythmic changes like that. We have half of a chorus with that goofy pattern from the intro. And then halfway through, we change it to the straight groove, the double time feel. Really cool. Let's go back. Halftime, yeah. No resolution. Aha! Squeal it out, squeal it out, squeal it out. Are you ready for the next song, Cleveland? Wherever you are. Twin Cities, are you ready for the next song? That's a great way to open an album, a great way to open a show as well. Well done, Paramore. I'm excited for this record. Let's get into the score. Structure. The standard structure for most songs is verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. You've heard it in every song. We heard it all throughout 14 songs of Taylor Swift's debut record. Now that we're on Paramore, we already, song number 1, are breaking that mold by adding pre-choruses and adding 2 choruses at the end. Now, it's not outstanding. It's not the most intriguing, like, new thing that's ever happened, but it is above the standard for me. So that's one little rise up above the standard. We also have some really interesting things structurally that are kind of both structure and flow, but the way that it changes between the distorted guitars and the clean guitars, the full double time drums and the halftime drums. There's a lot of groove changes in here that make the structure interesting. Each part, each section of the song has a different vibe to it. We have an intro with these 3 subdivisions in 3s with a 2 on the end, and then we have a verse with a call and response between singing and playing, and then we have this clean, ethereal, like ringing out sort of thing with the harmonic on the guitar, and the clean everything else, the side stick on the drums, it kind of brings it down, and then we've got the big powerful chorus, then we've got a halftime vibe in the bridge. A lot of really cool things structurally, so I'm really happy. Oh, and then on top of that, unresolved ending, thumbs up. I love it a lot. Structurally, we're gonna give it a 3. Flow. This song vibes all the way through. We start right off the bat with a big old really heavy head banging, hard hitting tune right from the start. I really love the way that it changes. I've already talked about how the roller coaster goes in and out and up and down, and just I feel like I was taken for a ride in this song, and maybe that's intentional. Maybe that's a metaphor for the lyrics. We'll get into that later, but the flow is really cool. I like it a lot, and so I have no complaints. Flow, it's a 4. Melody. This one's always the hardest category. I don't know if the song is going to sit with me, but right now it's in my head. Mostly, actually, less the lyrics, less the singing, and more the guitars. I actually don't remember much of the notes that she sang, but I think in pop punk and in rock music in general, it's supposed to be kind of the whole thing. When we were in country singer-songwriter territory, the singer is the star of the show, and that's what you're paying attention to. When you think melody, that's what you hear. But in rock, melody is in the guitars and the drums and the bass and the vocals, but they're like in tandem, like they're together, right? It's not one over the other. Maybe guitar inches just a little bit ahead, but the whole piece all together is the melody. And so you saw me headbanging my head to the drums, and you saw me getting into the guitar parts. I don't point out the bass much because it's hard to pick out the bass sometimes, but it was doing some really cool moving things when the guitars were staying stationary. I like that. A lot of really cool things with melody. I don't know if this one's going to stick with me more than others, but I know that it's not just the bass line. I do like it. It's a good melody. We'll give it a 3. Engagement. You had my attention from the very beginning. I was headbanging all the way through. I keep saying it, but that's what's important to me. I want to be engaged. I want to be interested. You caught me off guard when there were stops and it was just the kick drum hitting and the vocals. You caught me off guard when the guitars changed. You caught me off guard when the bridge was halftime. It was all stuff that you can pretty much expect from a standard rock song, but it was fun. It was engaging. I'm happy. I love listening to this tune. Is it the most engaging song of all time? Maybe not. There's some repetition in the lyrics, so you might be able to pick up on them. But honestly, I was listening to the music more than I was the lyrics, so I don't actually remember the lyrics offhand. I'm going to have to read them to memorize them. So is it engaging? I don't know. The most engaging section of this song to me was any point where it was just the kick drum on that 2 and 4, or even on the 1 and 3. Whenever it was just boom, boom, boom. That's an excellent opportunity live to get the whole crowd going, hey, 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 whatever you want to do with them. Or you could get them clapping along, you could get them cheering, you could talk to the crowd. There was that bridge section, you could extend that out. And how you guys doing tonight? Oh, we're at Paramore, and we just wanted to say thank you for coming on to this show. Are you ready? Ah, are you ready? Ah. That's the way to get the crowd engaged. So there are opportunities for engagement. Do I feel like it's the most engaging song in the world? Lyrically, maybe not. But musically, I feel like it's pretty fun. So it's room to grow, but it's still pretty good. We'll give it a 3. Lyrics. Let's take a look at them, shall we? Just talk yourself up and tear yourself down. You've hit your one wall, now find a way around. Ooh, that one kind of stabs a little bit. It's a little sharp stinger there. You've hit your one wall, now find a way around. That's like leaving somebody in the cold. Like, ooh, like, but I mean, you talk yourself up and tear yourself down. So you're someone who is saying, I'm all that, but then you say you're also not all that. You hit a wall, and now, okay, I guess you got to find your way out. You won't do it yourself, so now you got to do it yourself. I don't know if I'm articulating that right, but this song seems like it's about a breakup or a severing of a relationship of some sort. So if you've hit your wall, like you don't know what to do anymore, I can't help you anymore. Good luck. Have fun. Go around yourself. Well, what's the problem? You've got a lot of nerve. My favorite part about this verse is that it's in 3, right? Not in 3 like time signature wise, but there's groups of 3. This is one group, this is a second group, and this is a third group. Well, what's the problem? You've got a lot of nerve. There's no rhyming word or a setup word for nerve. It just kind of exists there. It's its own little piece. It doesn't need a rhyme. And I think that's creative. If Dr. Seuss is the standard, this is one step above that. Good job. Then we get into the pre-chorus, which repeats throughout the song. So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away. No, you can't run away. So what did you think I would say? Again, repeating it. No, you can't run away. You can't run away. You wouldn't. Once again, we have this dangling participle. Is that what that's called? Just an extra little line at the bottom of the thing. It doesn't have a setup. There's no rhyme to it. It just exists at the end. It's kind of that and I was talking about with the drums, but with the lyrics. We're expecting it to land on a rhyme, and it doesn't. That anticipation is a really cool way to build interest. Like, wait, are we going somewhere? Are we going? Oh, new section. Now I'm interested again. It's a really cool way to write a song. I never wanted to say this, you never wanted to stay. This is the inverse of what I was talking about with Taylor Swift. She has a tendency to put a word after the rhyming word on the second line. So she would write it, you never wanted to stay, I never wanted to say this. That's how Taylor would do it. But on this, we have the inverse. We're having, I never wanted to say this, you never wanted to stay. Stay and say are the rhyming words, but there's that this on the end of the first line. So the setup feels like it's mistaken. You might anticipate this to be the rhyming word, but it's actually the word before it. And that is clever writing. You don't get that in every song. So that, again, brings it above standard. I like it. I put my faith in you, so much faith, emphasizing the point, and then you just threw it all away. You threw it away. There aren't a whole lot of large things happening in the song. You know, there aren't any big, steep metaphors here, or similes, or symbolisms, or anything. It's pretty on the surface. She's saying exactly what she feels and what she wants. She's getting it all right out there. So nothing there, but artistically speaking, I like the crafting of where that rhyme falls, how everything is in groups of threes, and we have lots of repetition in here as well. I don't have much more to say about this, but I do like what I'm seeing. I do like what I'm hearing. Lyrically, there's room to improve, but it's still good for me. It's a 3. And so, Pessimist Optimist gets a grand total of 16 points. You bet it. It rocks. I like this song very much. It's the first track off of the album, so no need to bring up the top 10 list. It is number 1 out of 1. We'll see if it stays in first place tomorrow when we get into track 2. But for now, it's in number 1, 16 points. Now it's your turn. Tell me what grade you would give this song using my criteria. Or if you have a different criteria, put it in the comments below and tell me what score you got for the song. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. I could use those subscribers. A lot of you are watching this but not subscribing, so come on board. Let's have some fun and listen to music together. Hey, you could listen to my music. Midnight Ocean is available wherever you get your music online. I strongly suggest checking out Somewhere in Dreamworld. You might get some pop punk on there if that's the kind of thing that you like. I'm assuming it is. That's why you're here. But thank you so much for watching, for listening along. I hope you're having a good time. I'm having a good time. Let's get into the rest of the record tomorrow. I'll see you then. You rock.